All right, ready? Rock and roll. Okay, hey Revelstoke, how's it going? Scott Duke. This is my 5-minute video that David Rooney is going to put up on the Current. Thank you, David, for getting this information out there and keeping up to speed with the exciting life of the councillors. But so I'm not going to take 5 minutes. I know the average YouTube video viewer will watch a minute and a half, so we'll probably try and jam into that. So I'm just going to go through what happened in our last council meeting, some of the topics that may be of interest to people out there, and condense it into the Coles notes. So one thing, we passed a bylaw for secondary suites that went through. So what's going to happen now for people that have secondary suites, basement suites, that kind of thing, you can apply to have those licensed. So if you're selling your home, it's going to be good for you because this is a licensed suite. It's $50 a year to get the business license to operate that suite. It's good for the community because it gives us an inventory of how many suites we actually have out there. So we can, when we're looking at shortage in housing, we can say, okay, we have 400 suites in the community and we probably need 500. So then as a council and as a community, we can set targets. So that's why it's a good thing. Second, we endorsed the reducing poverty charter. So that was a question that I know Gary spoke to in his video. We were looking back into it. It did get endorsed. That's so that we can focus our goals and set things to reduce poverty in the community. The medical marijuana, that was a big hot button topic because every time you say the word marijuana, people can get antsy. But this is actually good because if we want development in the community in that arena, if we choose to, now we have a space to do it. So they can do it in the light industrial zoning areas if big companies come in and want to operate. It's very, not mom and pop. You got to be approved by the provincial government and have all your ducks in a row to be able to make that happen, and it's a big business now, so we can accommodate them here in Revelstoke. The Avalanche Center, they have put they were trying to do signage in the front of their building. They wanted to take all their windows and block them out with just branding on the front of the building. There's a current sign bylaw that only allows you to fill up 20% of your window. So they were asking for a variance to that so they could fill 100%. Myself and Linda were the only ones that thought it was okay. I got shut down, and that was me learning as a councillor that, oh, things are not going to go the way you want every time. So anyway, so that didn't go through, so the Avalanche Center will have to think about something more creative and bring it back to our desk. We put together a high-tech task force. So this is things like upgrading the internet service, or if we want to have Wi-Fi in the downtown, if we want to go and approach high-tech communities to bring them in the community. The task force is going to look at that and say, yes, this is going to be good for the community, this is how we should address it, this is how we should attack it. So that went through. The next council meeting we're going to be announcing who's on that task force. And expansion of the Firefighter Museum. They were looking to expand the Firefighter Museum. It's about $150,000 build. It'll give them more space. It's not coming out of taxpayer dollars. This is coming out of, well, they're trying to get different areas that they're going to pull it from tourism infrastructure. I believe, actually don't quote me because I don't know where the rest of it is coming from, but those guys have a plan of attack to get the money. But we just allowed them and said, yeah, if you want to expand, go ahead and expand. So those were the major things that were on our agenda. Things that are probably on people's mind is always McPherson. Alan Mason, Economic Development, he's putting a package together for us that'll come to us within the month, so we can kind of make a decision where the community is going to move with that. But again, it's outside of our jurisdiction, it's provincial, so all we can do is lobby and work through it as a community. So believe me, this one's big on every councillor's agenda, and it's on all of our minds, and everyone's working towards finding a positive solution to that one. And then the other one that was kind of getting kicked around a little bit during this council meeting is the park. So this is Kovach Park. They put together a committee that's looking at that. We approved a site plan that all the residents in the community didn't necessarily like, so we're kind of going back to the drawing table with them and saying, well, not the drawing table, but we're going back and getting more input from them, and so we can make a more informed decision moving forward whether they want Plan 3 or Plan 4. So just a little more review going to that process. But that's my nutshell right there with what happened in the last council meeting and kind of what's moving forward. But there's some cool stuff coming forward and good things for Revelstoke. So stay tuned to the Current.